We are going to do automations to digitize government services across board. This to increase efficiency and transparency. But for youth, 20,000 citizens on digital skills. Then we are building incubators. So as we do that, we have just finished a program that we are running with our partners, working the NPK across government, and this will do with digital IT, and so that we can enhance trust among our transactions and to provide in the government. And as we know, NPKI, I'm speaking to the tech sides, where the security guy, yourself and the policymakers. As Kenya Trust Buy, we have the local control, then we have a regulatory framework. Then in that we are providing impact where we secure cross-border trade and the government to sit by the national AI strategy, and we have an AI bill coming up in 2026 is under debate. Under this, we are doing a strategic goal where we're integrating AI into every sector of the economy. We have realized AI has to be integrated in each part of the setting space and the security space to guide us on how do we move forward. ICTA, in the operation of support of AI, as you are here, we have so many deepfakes, all generated information across the country. As a country, we have a very young techie youth that first, so AI model handshaking with NPKI to verify data authenticity. Call for action for Isaca AI. So how do we do the audit around it? Then second is to champion the standards that help us enforce standards. We enforce standards are across ICTs in. Lastly, I ask us to bridge the talent gap. It's good, I know we have professors, we have engineers, but it's good to have, I'm looking forward for that partnership so that we can move the country forward, provide innovation for our youth, which is so much dependent on innovations to create jobs for them. Without reiterating, as I say, to get opportunities in Lagos. How to make somebody to Tunisia to get access to opportunities in South Africa. So as we build up.
Thank you so much. Could you please hang on a minute for or two for some Q&A? Yes. Yeah. For a couple of minutes, if you have. Thank you once again, Mr. Kiveo. The national perspective on digital trust is not just important, it's essential. Public and private sectors must move in sync. Help me one more time appreciate Mr. Kiveo for that beautiful presentation.
So before we get into the slide deck, I just want to give you a very brief highlight about what Computech or who Computech is. We are the leading system in Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, and I've also flown to Zambia, which is in the southern part of Africa. So that's just about Computech, but we have been successful since then. Thank you. Okay, sir. So as I was saying, this is our presence, this is our foot across the group. We also have a couple of subsidiaries. So we have Nucor IoT, which is a specific IoT solution provider focusing on agriculture sector. We have developed solutions which can. We also have a healthcare division where we primarily focus on providing solutions around oncology. We do work with a couple of OEMs for that. And these are some of our partners. And just to highlight, we today have two of our partners here who will be presenting along with me. That is eMudra and Progreg. So eMudra APAC region and are now spreading their wings to Africa. So some of our reference cases. So we have transformed a tier 1 bank's customer. They were using legacy systems. We have moved them entirely to software-defined networking. We have also enhanced security posture by deploying endpoint, ADR, and encryption bank here, and also have done business process continuity solutions. Some of our references in the public sector, we have done quite a bit on the digital. So these are some of our capabilities across platform cloud. As I was saying, we have compute, virtualization, we have storage, block file storage, operating systems, data warehousing, compliance, application security, as well as cloud security. So these are some of our capabilities. So our strategic solutions, as I was saying, this is more of a highlight about what we do per se. So we do have
had a lot of discussions around trust, and I think the theme of today, theme of this Isaca event is also a lot around digital trust. So that being the context, considered a human right, and today we are talking about $6.3 trillion of e-commerce transactions, right, above that. And reports, and this is the kind of impact that we see. There are about 15 million plus victims annually who are victims of identity frauds, right? And this percent of the breaches are because of the identity breaches and stolen credentials. And that brings us to the theme of the event, the stage, but there could be a point where we are completely in disparate locations, in different locations around the world. We need to have trust while we are transacting. We need to have the right infrastructure. You have an ecosystem that is getting built right from the ID layer. The ID itself needs to be trusted so that it can be consumed to actually leverage for all your transactions, ensuring that the identity is bound by a legally valid digital certificate. And then a transaction layer, which is all the applications that are also backed by trust. So you leverage your identity, you ensure that your identity is established, and that it is also vouched by a legally.
The whole theme of the event is digital trust. We're also honored to be working closely with ICTA. As Jishnu said, we are one of the ECSPs in Kenya. There's a small paragraph, right? I'm not very familiar with the paragraph, like, I just keep cruising, won't stop, can't stop moving, shake it off. In the digital trust world, where we work with quite a few customers in Kenya, as we are proud to be associated with ICTA, equity banks, KCBs, NTSAs, many more organizations. We would love to work with you. Asante.
Risk and compliance company based out of Bangalore. So governance, risk and compliance and trust, they go hand in hand. So basically I'm here to introduce what we are and what we do. We are an integrated governance. 2 years, we are servicing the #1 digital payments bank in India, the 6th largest private bank in India. So that's quite a feat that we could achieve in the first year of our existence. We totally have about, here to get to the market, we are here to localize, we are here to make ourselves as, I don't want to use the term Kenyanization, but yes, I'd like to be a local here in terms of the flavor that we want to provide or want to bring to powered future-proof GRC solution at less than $10 a user. Meet me there, I'm there for you here. Thank you so much. I'd like to stop here.
Right there, they have solutions that they've come to showcase to just specifically you. So please, let's take advantage of that and pay them a visit, all right? Before I call the next speaker up on stage, we will do the next activity with them, all right? Find someone to do the next activity with them, all right? So you need to partner up, be in pairs before I give instructions for the next activity. This is only for now, okay? Firstly, this is only for them. You can lower the music just for a second for me to know, right? Mr. President, you can come and join me. You can come and join me. You need to be standing back to back with them, all right? Please be standing back to back with your partner, all right? Using both our fingers, you're going to come up with a number. Between, let's count from either 1 as a signal, 1 all the way to 10, all right? So I'm going to count 1 to 3, and you are holding 3. The answer is? We know mathematics. Very simple. Sindio? Let's try it. Turn, pick a number. Pick a number. No, don't tell me, don't tell them. Just, you have the number ready? In 3, 2, 1, turn. Pick a number using your fingers. Do not tell your partner. Just decide on that number. Do not move away from the number, okay? Okay? Now here is where it gets technical, all right? Let's go back one last time. This is the last time. What is 7 times 4? So what is hard? Kindergarten, maths, sindio? Oh yeah, we're doing a multiplication again. 0 does not count. It has to be from 1 all the way to 10, all right? So choose your... You're welcome to have your seat. You're welcome to have your seat. Our next speaker is a seasoned regional technology leader, the regional director at Cintura East Africa. Please help me welcome Mr. Anthony Muyuro up on stage, everybody.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Allow me to take a moment to thank the Isaca team. Let's really clap for them. They've done an amazing job. Please clap like you're not jealous. Clap until they hear it. And our able leadership of our president, my president, teach me how to make my content and slides do the fancy things yours was doing, right? So, Tony is my name, Muyuro. Mark said a very interesting thing that I think we have trust. My wife always tells me it's like a glass ball, that it can break. If you try to piece it together, the cracks will still show, all right? So, so this is who we are as a company. So Cintura is a so we have the privilege of also working with different organizations to make sure that whatever they're doing is also sustainable. Now, I sat with different leaders. Just the MC, my hairstyle is also natural, but when I grow up, I want to have, is it a mohawk, whatever it is, yeah? So next conference, maybe my hair go, AI is actually top of the agenda, right? By show of hands, how many here are using AI? Okay, how many are not using? So, top in their mind is how do we embrace this thing that now has become top in mind in every conversation, even at a geopolitical level, artificial intelligence. Why is it so pervasive? Mark Thomas mentioned that today, Google is not really the first place you'd go when you're looking for information. Where do you go? Exactly. And then the second one is, how then can you prioritize, ensure that they are achieving efficiency, especially within this economic uncertainties that we actually facing. The other thing you know is right now, there's a lot of stress that more than just investing in these digital tools, there has to be trust. There has to be some level, like what, Mark Thomas also mentioned it very, very well in his presentation. I have a very interesting view that I don't think it's entirely correct, entirely being the key word, to say that AI is here to take people's jobs. How many agree? Okay, actually being done. I'm sure you've all been seeing the massive layoffs many organizations around the world are actually having because of AI. The World Economic Forum actually, they always publish this report, and they always publish this report, and not cars. Because history will tell us that until technology shows up, or a variant of a tech or rather a solution shows up, we perhaps may not fully understand. Fast forward to today, we have our mobile phones. How will fast forward to today? We have our mobile phones. How will your day be if you ever forgot your phone at home? You'll have anxiety, right? Fear of missing out. Trying to think who called me or whatever. But semblance of tool that would be able to mimic the human intelligence. And what you can see on that plotting is actually the different kinds of tools that have actually been able to be developed. And it's been a build-up of competency, capabilities after capabilities, from intelligent automation, all the way to machine learning, all the way to deep learning, where they were actually testing if an AI could actually beat a chess master, right? And in 1997, we saw what Deep Blue actually did, is it? Deep Blue, by IBM, beat the best world record chess master then. Right? And in 2016, a team from DeepMind actually developed a tool that was able to beat the best Go. DeepMind actually developed a tool that was able to beat the best Go. It's called a Go chess game, or rather a Go game, a Go board. So there are two types. A chess game has combination of 10 factor 120. What's that number? 10 factorial 120. The mathematicians in the room. What is that number? Okay, let me give you perspective. The number of atoms in the universe are 10 factorial 80. Are we together? 10 factorial 80. The number of atoms. What is that number? I also don't know, so tell me. It's an incredibly high number, right? East Asia, there is there's a board game that is actually called Go. Extremely complex, extremely complicated, and the number of different permutations of moves there is 10 factorial 300. And that is trying to create systems and machines that can actually mimic or act as human beings. But slowly, we are seeing, and this is actually to the highest spectrum, which is going to be AGI, where machines would actually beat humans in terms of output capacity and be able actually to even beat even the smartest. And that is where, ladies and gentlemen, technology is actually headed. So where are we today? You can see agentic AI has become the new breakthrough or applicable technology or variant of this artificial intelligence discussion that we have today. Are we together that far? All right? So agentic AI is extremely important for us. So what is this, what does this mean? As you can see, adoption has always been on the high. Year after year, the plethora of tools that are coming out, you can see, especially in this day and age, these tools and these capabilities have become infused in everything that we do. Out of every 10 vendor pitches, 9 will tell you they're using what? AI, true or false? And there's also AI fatigue. How many here feel AI fatigued? How many here feel AI anxious? Can I admit? I'm also anxious about it. Because the more I learn about it, the more I get scared. Because the more I understand how this thing... Come on, guys. You guys are too serious. So you only do Isaca stuff and IT risk stuff. You never watch movies or anything like that, right? Okay. Sorry? By the time you do Seagate and all these other things, you have no appetite, yeah? But you can see some of the things that were predicted. Earlier this year, I bought 10 books on AI from key top trusted minds and voices on artificial intelligence. I'm on the 7th one. And this book is called The Coming Things that pretty much define how we need to look at this technology. Read that word loudly. Sorry? Proliferate. I come from Oranga, so I have to read it slowly because the higher, and he argues, the higher, the more demand that you'll have for any technology, the cheaper it is to run it. And that is exactly why we have all these tools available, right? So he argues a demand for only 5 computers. Only 5. Founder of IBM, Thomas J. Watson. Only 5, right? But today, how many computers do we have? Than the people that we have in the world. And then he also argues that for us to have technology that will be applicable at that level of scale, another dynamic is containment. And containment pretty much are the guardrails that you have to put in place. So he mentions further and says that when you look at even the people who created the nuclear warheads, what we call atomic bombs and what, they had to find ways to manage to the extent it can actually be used. And that is why we have multilateral arrangements into how and who can be used for good, but it can actually be used for harm. Now, this physicist that we all know, Albert Einstein, mentioned something that I found very interesting, that may be right. Do you remember a cartoon that was called The Jetsons? How many watched The Jetsons? Hey, George, I can clearly see you have a knack for these things, right? You will not miss to see nothing less than 10 technologies that we're using today. In 1962, out of their own sheer imagination, they were able to project that one day they were able to do that prediction out of their imagination. Today, and we sat into a masterclass, and we're learning about business, and we're able to pick out 20 different tools and technologies. The highest level, at the zenith of intelligence, is not just knowledge, it's creativity, it's imagination. And that is what now scientists and designers have heard of AI-generated music. Okay, how many have watched of AI-generated movies? Okay, how many can tell the difference? How many can tell the difference? I don't agree. I don't agree, right? I know the ladies would say much about it. But then, what are the elements of intelligence? Because we have to understand what this entails. What are we trying to build? Let's break down. What is intelligent? These are the spectrum of intelligence. The first one is senses, ability to see, perceive, hear, and we can all see these tools are already doing that, right? You can actually use an image, even ChatGPT. You can upload an image and it's gonna tell you. In fact, I love wristwatches, and one of the ways I discovered is that you can actually tell a fake one by just uploading the picture, because it can see, it can tell you the slight 1% degree off, that even the best imitators would not be able actually to cheat an AI system. The second spectrum is knowledge, ability to understand, synthesize, ability to be able to even remember data and even learn from it. And this is what neural network scientists have been able to do exceptionally well, that these tools would be able to do that. The other one is understanding. Can it understand you, right? How many did that game where you were asking ChatGPT to do a caricature about you? How many did that thing? Was I the only one? You did it, right? Okay, question. How accurate was it? No? Then your security is very, very good if it was not accurate, because I have a friend of mine who's a lady, and it actually showed that lady to be a gentleman. So that tells me she wasn't giving it enough data. But you'd agree, for most of us, that thing was extremely accurate, right? And that is what this intelligence is all about. Be able to translate the data that it's getting so that it builds a profile about you. And I'm building on something, because the next one is where now we are with this agentic conversation, is action. Can it act? Can it be able to experiment? Can it manipulate outcomes as we'd want it to be? And at the very zenith is creativity. And what I would argue today, I think scientists have been able to crack to some very reasonable degree some creative capabilities that it can actually do, all right? I gave you an example. Try and generate music, and these tools are there. You can even be able actually to have even art generated by artificial intelligence. And it's going to fool even the most cunning or very keen and observant people, right? So, building up on this is where we need to actually understand the art of the possible. What is then possible to do this, to use these tools for? Can it be used in business processes? And we're doing very advanced experimentations on core business processes, and we've deployed some tools, automation tools, that have some agentic capabilities, right? And now, to any CEO, you're telling them that what are some of the principles, what are some of the salient things that we need to make sure it's infused into this thing, because, ladies and gentlemen, history has taught us, and assurance practitioners. But we need to understand the flaws. We need to understand the architecture. Mark Thomas mentioned it very well. We need to understand how to govern it very well as well. So, agentic AI, more agents do the work for me, right? If you write me an email, at times if I put it on, it will actually respond, and you'll think we are actually talking, unless there's something very specific that you I haven't cracked it yet. Mark Thomas, you did your digital twin. Me, I think, women can be very chatty, so I'm trying to get it to be very, engaging as well, right? I have a friend of mine, true story. He set up his cloud bot to be able to chat autonomously with a wife. And he noticed that month, he was very happy of life. His happiness index improved by 30%, perhaps even more, right? So they act towards a certain goal. Now, like I mentioned, they have memories, information that they're getting with impeccable precision. And then, of course, the last one, which is interesting, and this is where I want us to lay the foundation of the next slides, that it can actually invoke some of these other environments and effectively, but then there's a big problem. So it would perceive information, perceive the environment, perceive the user personas it's even working with. It would also be able to reason and engage. Even cyber attackers would ideally target. Are we together? Great. So why this matters is because the combination of autonomy, independence. Are we good? Again, I told you, I'm standing between you and lunch. Carol told me to keep this interesting but very short and precise. So I'm going to go to some agents. Because software developers today are not just software developers, but should be AI-assisted software developers. Today, the engineers that we're hiring, we're telling them, you come on board, we're going to pay for you. There are tools that can actually do that, right? And then, of course, the multi-agent orchestration, where agents can actually work together. Let me scare you a bit. There's a friend of mine. We sit with her in an... Does that sound interesting? Does that sound scary? Like it's aware. I was like, my goodness. And they had deployed it for a big financial institution. At the very foundation of AI, it's always data machine learning, right? So ability to learn, reason, and whatnot, but it basically gives you very good basis that you can... A customer experience center. One of my friends, he runs perhaps the largest BPO in this country. They have more than 5,000 something seats of BPO. There are challenges. Mark Thomas mentioned that exactly 13 or so hours ago, an incident actually was announced. And this was Anthropic's artificial intelligence security mythos that has been said to be the most advanced cyber tool. But they did notice that there was actually unauthorized usage of it. There are people who are actually probing it in the wrong hands. It can actually be the most powerful, most potent cyber weapon, okay? Now, for those of us who love movies, you'll see that perhaps there are incidences, right? For instance, if account money is supposed to be sent for the bankers in the room to certain accounts, someone can actually do an injection, manipulate the goal, and it's going to be sent to a proper, actually to, manipulate, actually to, manipulate, because all the actions would always make inferencing from the modules, and then untraceable logic. You don't know how it arrived, reasoning or unauthorized persistence, secure tool execution, securing it, making sure that no one else can actually have it, and then identity. Everything would start and end from an identity mentioned, that you always have to, make the cooperation in a distributed system. Now, given my friend is here, I'm going to skip the plug on this thing, true? But then what I've learned is that in security, it's always a question of learning from those inputs, or rather events as they are. It's still very, very new. It's still, there's a lot of opportunities for us to explore. But then the biggest asset that we have is the
Just thing where there's someone who actually didn't like how it ended, and so they went to AI like how it ended. And so they went to AI, and they told AI how they want the ending to be, and they told AI how they want the ending to be, and they created it, and they are to be, and they created it, and they are... And the person who's going to be awarding today as the early bird is none other than Zablon Mwakitele. Zablon Mwakitele. No, tomorrow.
Coming to do what I'm meant to do here. So good afternoon. Good afternoon.